If you're looking for some straight up marketing advice that's super chilled and also a bit of a laugh, then grab yourself a drink and get ready for Marketing and Margaritas, a podcast that makes marketing entertaining. Brought to you by Rebel Nation, direct from regional Queensland.
Hello and welcome to Marketing and Margaritas. This episode is all about the regional marketing trend predictions I've got for 2025. So I wanted to have a look at what I think is going to make a difference for your marketing in 2025 based on being a small business in a regional area. So, you know, all the stuff that's flying around and trend reports and happening all globally, etc. like that. That's really useful and informative, but how it falls out and how it works in regional areas is just a little bit different. So I wanted to focus on on regional areas and small business specifically, with the caveat that obviously I can't predict the future, but I can tell you what I'm going to be focusing on in 2025. And I would hope after after 20 years of training and experience and all that sort of stuff in marketing, maybe I've picked up one or two things. Let's hope so. Otherwise, we're all in trouble. Okay, so my first one is getting even more into digital. Yay! Your digital presence is becoming more paramount to how you do business. If your business is super sustainable and growing, even though you've got a crappy old website and basically no socials and only a whisper of an online presence, more power to you. If your business is working exactly the way that you want without really a smart digital footprint, then don't hold back. Like that works for you, that's great. However, for most of us, we basically need to go digital or go home. Digital is not something that you can ignore, and in case you have been, and I know there are definitely people who have been. You've got to remember, people always say, and our business is the same, word of mouth is the best marketing. But word of mouth doesn't happen in a vacuum. Your digital presence can create and enhance word of mouth marketing. Plus, you could actually be making life easier on yourself, in business at least. So, online bookings, automated secure payments, client discovery, web forms where they fill stuff out that's super easy and quick for them, and you also get all the information that you need to quote them or before you meet with them, etc. There's all kinds of things that you can be doing to streamline your customers' experience with you, but also really cutting down on time, effort, etc. for you as well. On the most basic level, just do a search for yourself online and take a hard look at your website and your socials and ask yourself, would you choose to do business with you? If you're a bit more advanced, if you've got some stuff going and you're pretty happy with how most things are rolling, but you still want to be progressing, in the digital space, then get active in how tech, especially, AI, can streamline certain functions for you. Such as your chatbots, socials, content, and more. All right, my second one. So, first one was about things getting even more digital. My second one is about things getting even more local. So I think that local engagement is really picking up and is going to be big in 2025. So even though we're getting more digital, that doesn't mean pretending that real life doesn't exist. I think it's almost a bit of a, for want of a better word, rebellion to our lives becoming more and more digital, that I'm finding a lot of success in engaging locally, both for us and for our clients. So whether that's face-to-face or direct outreach, that local engagement is definitely, when we do so many things online, it can be absolutely refreshing to do something with somebody directly. So that means getting out there and, doing your networking, going to events, setting up your own events, those kind of face-to-face opportunities. And then direct outreach is, hitting up someone to see how they're going, maybe catching up for coffee, sending them an article or an app that you think would be useful for them, just to show them that you were thinking about them, etc. So touching base and actually talking to people, this is all marketing. and it's based in creating and strengthening relationships. Now, this looks different in different industries, but even massive big corporate businesses still have BDMs, etc., that will pick up the phone, call that lead, and talk someone through whether it's a good option for them or not. So, I really think that local engagement is also, again, a big facilitator of that holy grail of word of mouth marketing too. All right, my third prediction here is sustainable and ethical marketing. So we're seeing this more and more in younger demographics, but that doesn't mean that us oldies don't give a shit about this stuff as well. But there is definitely the call for businesses to be more ethical and transparent while operating in a sustainable manner. That demand is growing. It's not decreasing, it's growing. I'm not going to get into the super controversial discussion about, different industries, especially being in Mackay, all that kind of stuff. I find that a lot of people, including myself, are not informed enough to know about that sort of stuff. So I'm not going to just start spouting off. I'm only going to talk about from a marketing perspective because that's literally all I know. But, if you're wanting to appeal to consumers who are keeping an eye on the environment, or if you're that way inclined yourself, then it's time to make that loud and proud in your marketing. It follows on, I said to you guys, in 2024, I had a really big focus on inclusivity and accessibility. That's something I really wanted to put more time into with our services, that I haven't finished doing everything I wanted to. We've still got more to do there. But I think it's just focusing on the fact that the world is always changing and evolving, and how you approach your marketing also needs to change and evolve. So, consumer attitudes are going to keep progressing, and you can either get involved with stuff or you can get left behind. And I don't know about you, but I actually like changing and progressing. So for me, it's a bit of a no-brainer. All right, number 4 is what I call community-centric marketing. I know everyone hates wanky marketing terms, but sometimes there's just no better way to say it than exactly what it is. And that's exactly what it is, community-centric marketing. So as well as those one-on-one relationships, like I was talking about with that local engagement, that direct outreach and that face-to-face stuff, we're also focusing on our broader community. And that's not always, when I say community, I don't always just mean geographically. It's really thinking about who is the group that you serve, who are the people that you serve, and what binds them together. Whose life are you trying to make better by having your business? Because there is always, it's like, whether it's a location, an industry, a type of person, it could be that you're really there to help people in healthcare, or you're really about, your actual physical local community, or maybe it's that you just want to give mums who have kids with special needs extra support. There's always a group of people that we just want to help serve and make their life better, and that's why we're in business. That's what I mean by your community. And doing good for the sake of the community is not just a pat on the back for you. It has actually a real commercial return as well. So while it's like, yes, you want to be even more useful and helpful to the people who help, that you do business with, it's also that it's going to bring stuff back to your business too. So it's an absolute win-win. This can range from sponsoring like local clubs and events, or industry clubs and events. Again, it depends on where that community lives for you, or even just attending events like charity fundraisers and fun runs and stuff, through to, it could be hosting free workshops or partnering with other businesses to bring really relevant value adds to your community. So it can look like all different kinds of things, but it's about giving back, not just for the sake of getting your logo slapped on something. It's giving back so that you're part of building and strengthening that community, which, like I said, then feeds into your business too. That's why it's one of my marketing trends. It's not just a fun thing to do. It's purposeful for your community and for you. So a good example is we've just come on board as the marketing partner for Mackay Community Foundation. So in my personal opinion, Mackay Community Foundation is one of the smartest not-for-profit business models I've seen. And it's got really strong governments, and they just deliver so much impact already that the way their business model is set, it is basically so that they can deliver that level of impact more and more every year. So the way that they've got it set up, it's just that each year they're going to give back more and more. And who they give back to is just such a wide variety of different causes, initiatives, groups. It's amazing. I love it, obviously. And doing their marketing, it supports our local Mackay area, which is definitely one of the communities who we are really committed to. And it demonstrates to our clients that we're not just saying we give a shit about local, we actually obviously do give a shit about local. So that's been a really exciting partnership that we've just started off and is going to be quite a big thing for us starting from next year. Okay, my final trend for 2025 is data-driven decision making. For those of you who are already on this bandwagon, here's cheers. For those of you who've been too scared or too busy or too overwhelmed or too whatever to do things like, look at your Google Analytics on the regular, then can I please suggest to you to make 2025 the year you open yourself to the enormous opportunity you're missing out on. I can tell you now, one thing that is not going to slow down is the amount of new opportunities and apps and techniques and, marketing is expanding so much. Look at what we're doing now compared to what you were doing even 5 or 10 years ago. There are so many things that you can be doing in marketing, and to help you make smart, informed decisions, you use your data. That's what it's there for. A really simple example of this is your Google Analytics. So Google Analytics shows you for free how long your users spend on your website. That's just one tiny little data point it gives you. And it shows you how long they spend on each page on your website as well. So say you're a service-based business like me, and then your services page you see is getting only an average of 10 seconds of time. So on average, people are spending only 10 seconds on the page that details all about your services are. This is showing you that you're not really capturing people's attention and it needs to be fixed. So maybe you don't have enough information on there. Maybe it's confusing. Maybe they have to scroll a whole heap before they get, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know how to optimize your website unless you're looking at the data to start informing you on where you need to be doing it. Also, for example, as well as showing you how long people are spending on a page, it also shows you where those people are coming from. So you could see that the people who are coming from socials, for example, might spend more time on your services page than someone who's found you through a search. So this could mean that spending time on your socials is something that you want to amp up, whereas with your SEO, just keep doing what you're doing. So it starts to inform what activities are actually going to make a difference for you and your business. Now, I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole here because there are literally 50 million insights that can come from not just Google Analytics, but all of the data that's available for free for you, and can be really overwhelming and confusing. And that's why I just want to suggest to start with one thing. Based on your goals, what's one data point that you could be tracking regularly and actually paying attention to start helping you to make more strategic and informed decisions? And once you start tracking and paying attention and using that one piece of data, you'll get more comfortable with that process, and then you can open it up and track more. If you try and track a whole heap of things straight up, you're setting yourself up for failure. Just start small and grow it from there, and you've got a much better chance it'll actually work out for you. My wrap-up tip for today is to have a crack. Whoever is trying to sell you on a one-size-fits-all approach to marketing is absolutely full of shit. You need to try things out. You need to track how they go. You need to tweak what you're doing and test again to see if it works out for you. Like, these are the things that I'm going to be focusing on in 2025, but I'm not saying that this is where you 100% need to be for your business. If something makes sense to you, try it out and then actually see whether it works for you. That's my biggest piece of advice always, and I hope you do it. Best of luck, and here's cheers to 2025.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Marketing and Margaritas. Find more free marketing tips, tricks and laughs at rebelnation.com.au.